Hi BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to share with you guys my most anticipated reads, recap, rewrap, and update. This is the third video in this series. You guys have let me know down in the comments below that you enjoy this series, so we are continuing on. Now, I've done June, I've done July, so this is my most anticipated reads for August 2014. And thank goodness I have read the majority of this list. So I'll be discussing the books that came out in August of that year and which ones I have read and liked and which ones I still need to read. This list was 14, was it 14? No, 13 books long. So let's get started. The first book on my list is Between the Spark and the Burn by April Genevieve Tuchok. This book came out August 14th, 2014. I have already read this book, thank goodness, and I gave it 3 stars. Now, if you've read Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, stop. That book is amazing, it's glorious, it's poetic, it's beautifully written, it's flowery. When objects have feelings and voices, what is it personification? I think that's the word. Let me know down below if I'm wrong, but I think it's personification. I love that. I love when objects have feelings and emotions and they can speak. And in this book, they do. And so that is very fantastical and wonderful. But this second book, the sequel in this duology, was awful. I absolutely hated it. It does not need to be read to like the duology. You can just read The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea and just be done. You don't have to pick up the sequel because it's bad. I didn't like it. All right, the next book on my list is Fiendish by Brenna Yovanoff. I really like Brenna Yovanoff's work. It's very weird. It's all paranormal in nature. This one came out on the 14th of August as well, and I actually have to finish reading this. I did win an ARC of this book from Goodreads in 2014, and I still haven't finished it. I started it. It sounded really cool. It's about a woman who was like buried in this house like 20-30 years ago, something like that, and then one day she wakes up and digs herself out, and she realizes it's some kind of like voodoo spell that she needs to figure out why it happened and what is going to go on now. Very strange, super interesting. I had the book on a shelf for a really long time and now it's gone. I don't know where it is. I will have to look for it later. But it is on my to be read list along with the other books from previous most anticipated read recap videos. All right, the next book I have here is The Island of Excess Love. Look how gorgeous this cover is. I love it because it's pink. Pink's my favorite color. Really pretty. Anyways, this is by Francesca Leah Block. This came out on August 16th. I purchased it. It is a sequel to another book, which The World's... Here's the cover of the first book. It is a retelling of Odyssey. That's the word. I was going to say a different word. It's a retelling of the Odyssey, and our main character is a lesbian, and it's a very good story. And then I read the sequel, and again, it's just like The Spark and the Burn. It wasn't really necessary. You don't have to read that book to continue on. It is a duology, and the first book was fine the way it was. I didn't like the sequel. It didn't, you know, help the story along. It was just, ugh. I gave that one also 3 stars. It was just not good. All right, the next book on my list is Sanctum by Madeline Rue. This one came out on the 26th. I gave this one 5 stars. I own it. Where is it? I don't know where it is. It's somewhere behind these books, I believe. That is part of the Asylum trilogy. Sanctum was very good. We learn more about the past owner of the asylum, and there's still creepy pictures in this book, and very, very good. I will talk about it more in my library, or not library, my bookshelf tour. Okay, the next book on my list is Amity by Nicole Osto. This one also came out on the 26th. I got this for free from NetGalley in 2014, and it's a horror, and I read it and it wasn't that good. I gave it 3 stars. It's kind of like the Amityville horror house. So it's a retelling of that house itself. And there's 2 different families that move in at 2 different time points. So the first family that moves in, weird things happen. And then the second family that moves in, again, weird things happen. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars because it was okay. It's not a horror that scared me at all. And I would probably never reread it again. I mean, it is on my Kindle. I could if I wanted to, but I won't. So if you want a Amityville horror retelling, I would pick this book up. Like I said, it's okay. It's just not scary. And if a horror book isn't scary to me, I tend to give it 3 stars. Even though, you know, because I mean, they tried. I just have very high standards for scary books. All right, the next book on my list is called Into the Gray, and this is by Celine Kiernan, and this came out on the 26th of August. I can't find this book anywhere. It is not at my library, so I haven't been able to borrow it. And I have been looking for it on Book Outlet for forever, so I'm going to have to maybe buy it either on Thrift Books or Amazon Marketplace. But I do want to read this book at some point in time. I cannot tell you what it's about because I didn't write anything down besides that it's a paranormal. So there you go. All right, the next book is called The Girl from the Well by Ren Chupeco. Now, this was amazing. I absolutely loved this book. If you like Japanese horror, if you like The Ring, you need to pick this book up. It is kind of like The Ring. It's about a girl who was in a well. She is a ghost now, and she kind of haunts this boy to help him. It's very good, and I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil the book, but I gave it 5 stars, or I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. I don't own this book yet. I need to purchase it. It does have a sequel. It's a duology. Very, very good horror. YA. Pick it up. The next book I have here is Feral by Holly Schindler. This book was my most anticipated read on the 26th of August. And as you guys know, if you read or watched my last video, I did start this last month, and I plan on continuing and reading it this month or next month. Hopefully I can get to it. I want to read a bunch of books this month, but I didn't put any of my previous books on my TBR for July because I don't want people to expect these books to be read and then be disappointed that I didn't read them. So if I can get to this book this month, I am going to. All right, the next book on my list is called Servants of the Storm. This is by Delilah S. Dawson. It came out on August 5th. I do own the book. I have not read it yet. So again, another book that will be on my list to read soonish. I should probably, if I can't get to these books like within the next couple months, I should probably put it like in a TBR jar and make sure I read these. I don't know. I'm doing okay on catching up with the books. We'll see. The next book on my list is, The Servants of the Storm is a demon book. I can't wait to read it. The next book on my list is Two Girls Staring at the Ceiling by Lucy Frank. This one came out on August 5th, 2014. I read this last month, so go me for getting ahead of myself and reading a book from the next month. I gave this book 3 stars. It was okay. It's written in verse. I don't really like the fact that it's written in verse because it's hard to know who is speaking. But overall, it was okay. It's about Crohn's disease. So if you know somebody or you're interested in Crohn's disease, then pick this book up. The next book on my list is Mortal Danger by Anna Guire. This is a fantasy paranormal. It came out on the 5th of August. I have not read this yet. I do own the entire trilogy called the Mortal Game Trilogy. That's all I know about what it is. It's paranormal in nature. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. I don't know what this is about, but when I first looked it up, it sounded fascinating. And so I want to read it. And lots of people have said Anna Guire's writing is very good. So we'll see. The next book on here is Forget Me by K.A. Harrington. That one came out on August 7th, 2014. It's a YA mystery. It was very, very good. One of the best YA mystery thrillers that I had read in 2014. Here's the picture, obviously. If you like thrillers, I would definitely pick this book up. Like I said, it was one of the best. I gave this one 4 stars. The killer I didn't see coming, but that's normal for me. I normally cannot see the killer coming. But yeah, pick it up. It's a great mystery thriller for YA. The next book I have here is 6 Feet Over It by Jennifer Longo. This one came out in August 26th of 2014. It's a contemporary realistic fiction. I gave this one 4 stars. I did read it. It's about a girl whose parents purchase a cemetery, and they decide that they're going to, be the caretakers of this cemetery. And instead of the parents working the cemetery, like the main desk, the girl has to, and she's like 14. So she's reading, like she's doing homework while she's answering phone calls and having people come in and talk about what plot they want to buy, or if they want to get their child or loved one cremated. It's kind of depressing in a way because she is depressed. She's also lost her best friend, and her sister has cancer, or she's getting over cancer. Like, I think she's in remission or something like that. It was a good book. It's got lots of emotions going on. And yeah, like I said, I read it in 2014, so it's been 3 years, but I did remember it being good. And that is it. Those are the 13 books that I was most anticipating in August 2014. Out of the 13 books, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those 13. And I still need to read 1, 2, 3, 4 that I own, and 1 that I do not, which is Into the Gray. I need to get that at some point in time, but I do own 4 of them, so I can pick them up. I've already started 2 of those books. The other 2 do sound interesting. That's why I put them on my most anticipated reads, because they always sound interesting. So I'm looking forward to those. Again, let me know how you're liking this recap of my most anticipated reads to let me know if I should continue on in the next months. Yep. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!